Chris Tyree, Mikhail Bowley, some other guys. Do you have serious injuries, or are you hopeful those are minor?
Yeah, hopefully they're minor. Obviously, over the weekend, hard to get them in to get, CTs, MRIs, all that kind of stuff done. So today they got a bunch of their imaging done just to check on some things, make sure that it's nothing too serious. So we got a couple guys that we're hopeful that won't be too long, but we won't know until tomorrow, Wednesday, when we get some of the tests back. But I'm encouraged. I'm hopeful that they won't be long term.
It's only been a week, but what are you most pleased about?
The guys, they're pushing hard. I mean, they're practicing with good tempo. They're giving great effort. You can see a lot of the carryover from the spring, just in terms of the retention. But really, just pleased with the level of competition. Man, they're competing every single day. They're getting better at learning how to practice. It's tough right now because we just got shoulder pads on and we haven't been able to tackle yet. And they're eager to tackle, and we got to stay on our feet. But overall, just the level of competition, their energy, their excitement to come out every single day. And then also, too, the things that no one really gets to see is just their camaraderie around the building. Man, they're hanging around in the building all day long. Man, they're fellowshipping. They're spending a lot of time together. The guys are in there doing extra on their own in between our scheduled meetings. You'll see a group of them in there for player-led meetings. So just some of those intangible things, and then a few tangible things on the field that I'm most pleased with.
What's the about Cam Robinson? I guess when you were recruiting him, obviously he was highly rated, but and then just kind of how have you seen him kind of take it to another level in the second?
Yeah, so in recruiting, just watching him on film, he played everything. Which just tells you his versatility and unselfishness as the best player on your team to do everything and never come off the field. Then when I watched him play live, just how he interacted with his teammates from a leadership standpoint. And then when we got him here, we really couldn't gauge his athleticism until we saw it against college level talent. And man, he's unbelievably fluid, twitchy, violent athlete, and now you're starting to see him embrace the other aspect of the game, which is the cerebral aspect. Whereas, most times in high school, when you're the most talented guy, you're just out there playing off of ability. But at this level, with the position that we have him at, he has to be able to think the game. He has to be able to communicate the game. And he's really, really embracing that to go along with, the tremendous amount of talent that he has.
What are the biggest changes you need to see with the run defense, and how is that looked through the first few practices?
It's hard to tell because, again, everything is controlled. It's all situational. There's a bunch of install that's not marrying up, right? Because we're not installing offense and defense to go against each other. We're installing it for the season. So there's times when it doesn't marry up. But this weekend we'll have a chance to put the ball down and go live for the whole practice and scrimmage, and we'll be able to tell. But the biggest thing is just fits, making sure that we understand our fits and communication. That's a big thing in the run game, is communication, because offensive football nowadays is all about motions and misdirections and trying to gain leverage by some different way. And for the defense, they have to be able to communicate anytime somebody moves on the offensive side of the ball. And then up front is really just playing with extension and getting off blocks, right? So the guys up front having the ability to get better at punching and pressing and disengaging, and then making some tackles at the line of scrimmage so that it doesn't get up to the second or the third level. So those are the improvements that we have to make, and some of those things we've been able to see some improvement, but some we won't be able to really gauge until we can get off the field as coaches and let them go.
I know a few of your players have said Mike Adams has been a huge stickler about run fits. Have you seen that in practice?
Yes, just in terms of the fits, but then also how we attack downhill from a linebacker position, and then also some changes in technique on how we're gonna engage blocks and how we're gonna disengage blocks. You're starting to see some of that stuff show up.
Tyler Neville had such a remarkable journey coming to playing football for 2 years to his medical history. What do you see from him just as a person on the field, and how that kind of experience affected him?
You can see that he's a guy that loves ball. And he plays and practices with a great appreciation for his opportunity, and so he's eager Still got a lot to learn, but he's not looking at it, as a negative. He just seizes the opportunity. And he had a chance to speak to the group because every day after the practice, I let one of the players break us down, and he just had a good message. And his message was simply, hey, think back to when you were 6, 7, 8 years old and how much you love playing this game, and that's how you need to approach it every single day. And if you have that perspective, then you're going to have that appreciation, that love, that passion, toughness, and just a desire from deep down inside. So that's what I see when I see Tyler, not just on the practice field, but around the building. Man, got a big smile on his face, just a great appreciation for his opportunity.
What does it say about him that he's using his experience going through childhood cancer, and he wants to give back through his foundation and use his, just avenues through football?
I think that's really what life's all about. I know that for a lot of us, at some point, we were motivated by things. We were chasing things, we were chasing accomplishments, thinking that was our purpose in life. And, those who were fortunate enough to accomplish some of those goals they have set for themselves, they kind of realize it's pretty futile, right? But really, purpose in life is when you can do something for others and use your adversity that you've been able to persevere through and overcome to help others. It's awesome to see a young person, figure it out, at such a young age what the real purpose in life is. And I believe because of that, not only is he going to impact people, but he's going to be blessed with the desires of his heart.
Sedarian looks less like a middle infielder, more like a football player. What have you seen in the change of his body and the change of his game, and who else are you working in that slot?
Right, so he's doing a great job of attacking the weight room, and he's starting to fill out. His traps and shoulders are beefing up. He looks just thicker and fuller, which you're going to see that when they transition to this level, right? Especially with the emphasis that we put on nutrition and recovery and strength and conditioning. So, but he's embraced it, and that's why you see his body look different. And he's got competition, which is going to bring out the best in him. And at that position, you got him, Chris Tyree, Cam Courtney. Are the main three kind of rolling at that position. And then as we get further into camp, when we get some guys more solidified at the spots where we start, and then we'll cross train some more guys just to give us more depth. But those are the primary three rolling at that position right now.
You think Cam would be ready? I mean, if Chris's deal is
he's going to have to be ready, right? Like to be honest with you, nowadays, man, freshmen got to be ready to go. And you're going to do what's best for the team first, and then you're going to do what's best for the player. And then you'll have conversation about it. But, he's a young man that came from a great high school football program, was a guy that played multiple positions in high school, which, running back and receiver, which kind of gives him a little bit more versatility and exposure to the different, aspects of offense and then defensive identification, which helps to speed up the process of transition. He's 190 pounds, so he's come in, physically developed, has a really, really natural high football IQ. So physically, he's coming in the door. Sedarian's, hasn't hit 190 pounds yet, and even though he's bulked up, Cam's at 190 right now, coming in the door. And so, every day he's getting better. He's got to want to in an effort, and just naturally, from a physical standpoint, athletically, he's got the skill set. It'll just be a function of can we get him to a point to where he can handle, all of the offense. And so far, he hasn't given us any indication that he can't.
Last year, you kept hoping for a third receiver to emerge.
Mm-hmm.
How much better does your offense function when you have that third receiver and when you're really good at tight end?
Oh, it now, you become the aggressor, right? Because the defense is going to have to make a decision on what they're going to take away, right? So when you got three receivers that can balance the field up and a tight end that can go from side to side to create matchup advantages, now they got to make a decision. Okay, are we going to bracket a guy? Well, if you bracket a guy, then you're creating single coverage, right? And then if you're bracketing a guy, creating single coverage, you're lighter in the box, versus the run. So when you have the depth to be able to spread out and create matchup disadvantages, then now you put the pressure on the defense, and they're going to have to reveal, and if they say we're going to load up and stop the run, then guess what? We're going to have one-on-one coverage, and you now have the bodies and the matchups to be able to go win a one-on-one across the board. If they say, we're going to sit back and we're going to play two shell, and we're going to die a slow death, so to speak, then you have to run the ball because now you have the advantages. And then when you have a tight end that can quickly, go from being a passing threat to a sixth hat in the run game. Now you create angles and numbers, which now gives you the ability to just, hey, however you want us to do this thing, we can. But when you don't have that depth, then you become very one-dimensional, and then defenses can force you, into one-dimensional, and then they can double your best receiver, and you don't have many options after that.
Yeah, this is the most experience you have on the offensive line. Your first week, does it look like you have experience on the offensive line?
It does from just a communication standpoint, and an assignment standpoint. Still got to improve technically at some spots, but definitely you can see that guys aren't turned loose as much, which tells me that the guys got synergy. They're communicating. They're all comfortable with the calls. So definitely, seeing that advantage. Want to get Boley back. Hopefully it will be only about a week or so, and he'll be back because he needs to work. But it gives Jimmy Chris a great opportunity and Houston Curry a great opportunity, to jump out there. And then, Ethan Sipe has been a great addition for us. Gives us some more depth interior wise. Got to get him. He would be the one that we really got to bring along just because he just got here this summer. But overall, I thought the guys have done a good job of really, coming together, and you're seeing them spend a lot more time together. Man, they're always up in the meeting room, just watching ball, and Brian Stevens does a great job of leading those guys, and so it's good to get him back and kind of the anchor in the middle to keep everybody else straight.
Where do you have Ethan working right now? Where do you have Ethan?
So he's been working primarily at right guard for us. We'll have him snapping a little bit to train as a snapper, just to increase the depth at the center position.
Anybody stand out at corner yet?
At corner, Kempton keeps showing up every day. Jam Jackson, seeing him make a couple plays. It's good to see Keandre back out there. He's up to 190 pounds. He's really changed. His body was limited in the spring with the wrist surgery, but he's jumped back out there. He's looked good. Those are the three primary guys that have caught my attention. And then, Kempton's had to play a little bit of nickel, a little bit of corner, and then obviously Malcolm, just took a shot on the thigh, so we don't anticipate he'll be out long, but he hasn't had as much opportunity because he's been down for a couple of days. So hopefully we'll get him back and get back to full strength so we can really, let that competition go.